In this video, I'm going to be talking about the dark secrets of Hollywood and the secrets of the Illuminati. I have been putting out videos for quite some time now, breaking down this illusion that Hollywood has put on us. You have to be patient with what I'm about to say, because it's not just going to all come out, but I'm trying to give people clarity, because a lot of people want to ask, or they have questions of like, what do they do in Hollywood? Who is the Illuminati? And I had those same questions. I remember I was about 20 years old, and I had these questions because I came across the name the Illuminati, and I had the question, who in the world is the Illuminati and what do they do? So I started researching them, and I just so happened to I came across this one individual at my workplace, and he was talking to me like we used to always talk about conspiracies and different things like that. And he had this book, the 13 bloodlines of the Illuminati. So he let me borrow the book, and that's what got me interested really into like knowing what they do and why, because there's a lot of MK Ultra, there's a lot of demonic activity over there in what was so-called the Illuminati. So I've been researching them for quite some time, and here's the thing. As soon as I started researching them, I went straight to the Bible. Even though I wasn't following God like I am now, at 21 years old, I was all over the place. But I still went to the Bible because I knew that the Bible is true. I still believe in God. I still have faith in God. I still knew that Christ our Lord and Savior died on the cross for my sins. So I looked in the Bible for this information. And then as I'm looking in the Bible, I'm looking and I'm thinking to myself, the Jews over there in the Middle East are not the real Jews, because they just didn't add up. So I was like looking at I was doing research on World War II, and I was doing research on Hitler and his plans. And during that time period of researching Hitler, because whatever I learned in school, you're supposed to, when you're researching something, whatever you learned in school, just completely erase it and start from brand new and scratch, and then you'll have clarity. Just pretend like you never even heard your teacher say the things that they said. And so I realized that like Hitler was trying to get rid of the Jews because he was being funded by the Illuminati to actually ship the Jews over to Palestine. Like literally ship. I'm talking about like get them up out of there. Now, when I say ship, it doesn't necessarily mean boat. It means plane, train, car, buses, whichever way, just get them up out of there. That's what I mean. And so I'm trying to figure out why would he do that, because that carries the illusion that they were extradited to another location, which in the Bible, it literally talks about the Jews being transported from out of their homeland to another land. So at one point, Hitler changed his mind about the plan, and he started to expose it, and then that's when he had to fake his death. So I know this is that's why I told you to be patient with me, because a lot of this is going to come out. I see the sun glare. Let me close this thing right now, because I see that glare. Yeah, it's much better now. So I'm going to talk about just the history of America, and in one particular part of America, because it'll bring in Hollywood, it'll bring in the dark magic that goes in on Hollywood, and it'll expose the Illuminati, and it'll also give people clarity on what the Illuminati is, what do they do, and what's going on in the situation. And no matter how weird it might sound, no matter how crazy it might sound, this is real stuff. Just understand you're living in the Matrix. The Bible is true. And you're dealing with demons. You're dealing with magic. You're dealing with fallen angels. You're dealing with spiritual activity. And it's something that we all just have to accept, because I don't understand how people can be calling themselves Christian or people of God, and then anything that's being talked about that's spiritual, they deny it. They think it's strange, like healing and different things like that. The Bible talks about healing, and it talks about curses, and it talks about demonic activity. But if you bring it up, they're very confused. Like I know so many people that go to church that call themselves men and women of God, but then yet they celebrate Hollywood. And if you say like, hey, Rihanna is a full-blown witch, they'll be like, what? Like, they'll get out of here. Like, what are you talking about? Like, prove it. And I will prove it. I have videos. Y'all can check out my other videos where I'm proving it. But just listen to the way that I speak about this situation, and it'll all bring clarity to you. Because here's the thing, like, usually people, they might have a big following, and then the government sees that and they want to take them people out, make them look crazy because they're exposing things. Like, if you know about this guy, that's why you have to have the armor of God on. There's a guy, his name is Young Pharaoh, and at one point he was exposing like Hillary Clinton, and he was exposing demons. He was exposing the demonic activity that takes place over there in the White House. He was exposing child pedophilia and child sacrifice. And then all of a sudden he comes back with all these tattoos, and then also he was just more quiet and regular, and he didn't have really no substance that you could really tap into. And he said that he was abducted by aliens, and they did something. So that's true. That's actually what really happened, because they shut him up. But he didn't have the armor of God. That's why you have to have the armor of God. I used to make these videos, I'm gonna be serious, I used to make these videos long ago. I'll say about maybe like 15 years ago, I used to make these videos talking about the things that I learned. And then what happened was, like, I started to notice like a lot of creepy gang stalking activity going on around me once I started making these videos. It's like the moment you make videos exposing it, start looking around like everybody's acting strange here. And witches will start to surround you, and you'll be looking around thinking that somebody's after you, like what's going on. So I learned that later on that it's the gang stalker program, and then you've been placed in it because you have awakened yourself, and you awaken other people. You know what I mean? Just imagine, like, I look at it like this. I'm gonna make this analogy right now, or this example, whatever. Imagine like your house is burning. Imagine everybody in the house is sleeping. There's like 10 people in the house, and the house is like on fire, and you wake up. You're the only one that woke up, and you're like, oh no, you're trying to awaken everybody else because y'all got to get out of this burning house. And everybody else is like, no, leave me alone, stop, move, get out of here. You know what I mean? Like, when you don't want to wake up, you just want to go back to sleep. Like, that's what everybody's doing. And then, like, the crazy part is that once you awaken, like, when they get a glimpse of what you're talking about, like, hey, listen, the house is burning. Look, you see the flames, you smell the smoke. They're still like, oh, get out of here. And that is the crazy part. Now, once I'm gonna be honest with you, once you see that they don't care after they see it, leave them alone. Yeah, don't talk to them no more. I don't care if it's somebody in your family. Once they see it, they have to see it though. I understand the people that's like trying to go back to sleep, but they don't realize what's going on. They don't see it, they don't smell nothing, they don't see nothing. So they're like, leave me alone until like you actually show them, and they jump up like, whoa, I thought you was playing around with me. And then so here's the thing, like that's what's going on inside this world, is that you can be awakened, and then you can go around trying to awaken other people, and they just don't believe it. They need the proof. Now that's cool, because they need the proof. So once you show them the proof, then they deny it still, then leave them alone. That's what I'm saying. Because if you see in the Bible, when Moses split the sea and the water came all the way up and flooded the Egyptians, and all the people seen that, they seen the miracle that Moses did. They seen him crack the stone and water come out when they was thirsty. So there were still people like, I don't know if I believe it, that this guy is working with God. Like, it's just, I don't know if, should we really follow this guy, or should we go back to Egypt? I don't know. Like, there still was people doing that. So at that point, those people you need to leave those people alone. Even, I'm telling you, it could be your wife, it could be whoever, like somebody close to you. Like, leave them alone. It's time to get away from them, because they will actually be used by the devil to take you out, because it doesn't matter. They're within a spell inside of a spell inside of a spell, and it's not your job to keep trying to awaken people that see what's going on. So yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Excuse me, I'm going to a location that's like, I never went this direction, so as you can see, I'm driving, but I never went this direction, so I'm probably going to be hesitant to talk about what I'm saying. But this video is going to be exposing the Illuminati, so you got to give me patience, because it's going to be a long video. It's not going to be a short one. Some people want these short videos, but I want to give people clarity. You guys have, if you make it to the end of any one of my videos, to the average person that's asleep, it'll seem like I'm just talking nonsense. But then the things that the things that you have experienced, and the things that you will be experiencing, I will be talking about it in here. It's things that you haven't been awakened to that you will be awakened to, and once you're awakened to it, you will know how to maneuver because of it. Because I want to break down this Illuminati situation. So, in the Bible, we know about the Egyptians. They had practices, right? Now, the Egyptians were practicing witchcraft. Pharaoh was what would I call this? It was a battle, right? Pharaoh was battling Moses with the staff, right? The staff turned into a snake, and and they were doing a certain, I would say, anything that's coming from God is a miracle. Anything coming from the devil is magic. So when Moses was doing, making the blood red, making the water red, that's a miracle. When he was turning the sea, I think frogs was coming out of the sea or something like that. That was a miracle. Turning his hands white, miracle. The water coming out of the rock, miracle. The sea coming up and flooding the Egyptians, that was a miracle. But if you notice, Pharaoh was, he had that same exact ability to do certain things. And during this time period where he was doing this, I guess you would call miracles. Not miracles, I'm sorry. We're talking about Pharaoh here. During the time period that he was doing these things, that was considered magic. So the Egyptians was practicing magic. And in order to get to these particular levels, you have to go through certain ranks and certain rituals. Back then, even at that time period, there's certain rituals that you have to perform in order to receive the ability to do this magic. And the Egyptians had the ability to do it. So when Moses was doing his thing, the Egyptians was like, man, please, I did that last night. You have to understand this, right? So we now have that. We have that understanding that the Egyptians were practicing black magic, dark magic, and it's because they had the pyramids, and they also had the magic. They had the books, they had the studies, they had the rituals, they had everything, the secret codes on how to perform these particular rituals. I wish I could actually show you guys on a piece of paper on how they actually communicate too, because they have a certain language. If I wasn't driving right now, and I'll write it down and y'all can see it, and y'all be like, wow. Yeah, because they communicate quite well, right? Like, they use symbolism, and we'll never understand the symbolism. Also, what else we got? So, fast forward, we're going to talk about the takedown of America. If you look in the Bible, you'll see all of these different nations being taken down, including the Israelites. Those nations were over here in America. You know how you talk about, like, people say, well, there were Moors in America. Yes, there were. But they were Islam. Yeah. I've been trying to say this for the longest period of time, is that the original Edomites looked like the descendants of slaves, meaning they looked black, but they weren't. They practiced Islam, and they had Islamic features. They had not Islamic features. They had Middle Eastern, Saudi Arabian features, but they was black. Y'all guys have to understand this. When I say original, everybody in this world knows. There's every scientist, every racist. This is the weird part, that even white people that are completely racist will agree with what I'm about to say. Everybody came from black people. So when I say the original Edomite was a black man, you see what I'm saying. Later on, I believe, because people say, well, it's the climate that makes your skin color change. It's not the climate. It's the rituals that have been done on a race of people that turns them the way that they are. There's actually magic. There's actually rituals. There's actually people sleeping with demons. There's people that's practicing witchcraft, and through the bloodline, it actually changes the actual bloodline. And so now you have different people of a different race of beings that came down here on this earth, the fallen angels, that had sexual intercourse with certain women, and those women had children, and then a couple thousand years later, those children will now be an actual race of people. And the bloodline will actually be diluted after a while, meaning that they will actually be somewhat human. If you look at certain people's bloodlines, you see that, like, wow, they don't even have like human DNA in certain people's bloodlines. but do they have the capability of actually getting into the kingdom of God? And this is the topic for another video, but I'll just say it right now. Like, no, some people don't have no souls. Some people are like NPCs. What I mean by that is like they're walking bodies with no actual soul. Meaning like it's a demon inside of them just operating. There's no soul. That's what certain people's bloodlines came about. The Bible talks about that the Edomites can't get into heaven. Now, there's two reasons why a lot of the Edomites won't get into heaven. It's because, well, first is that Edom, they're Muslim, so that's the reason why they won't be able to enter the kingdom. But then another thing is that a lot of them are NPCs. A lot of them are they just have demonic spirits inside of human, well, what you would so call what looks like human flesh. So the takedown of the original America, when it was the Turtle Island, you had Hebrew Israelites, you had Mexicans, you had Moabites, you had what we would call Dominicans and what we would call Puerto Ricans. They're all part of the Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, the original Dominican. I'm talking about going back 300 years ago. The great-grandparents of the Dominicans today were in the tribe of Joseph and from the tribe of Ephraim. Dominicans and Puerto Ricans. And it doesn't matter if you don't like what I'm saying. It's not all, because the bloodline has been diluted because there has been many different nations mixing together, and this is the reason why you have I would say the European looking Spanish people look down there in Dominican Republic, also in Puerto Rico. But the original people were more black, Negro feature, Negro looking, if you understand what I'm trying to say. The people that were enslaved, it wasn't just the tribe of Judah, it was other tribes also, but to be like, more specific, like I'm talking about like a large amount of people were from the tribe of Judah that were enslaved. And to be honest with you, it's so hard to take down the tribe of Judah because the tribe of Judah was too big and too strong, and they don't put up with that nonsense. But it was also prophesied that they would get put into slavery because they was the most rebellious. It was the most rebellious. But they're riders, though. And today, when you look in the inner city, like you turn on your news and you see, and this is it for anybody that's watching outside of the country. In America, in every city, there's black on black violence. Those are the people from the tribe of Judah. And if they turn their attention into the government doesn't want them to use their capabilities on them. So they do witchcraft on them to make them use their abilities on themselves. But the tribe of Judah fight you, stab you, and shoot you. And not even care. Go eat a cheesesteak, get arrested. Like, you can't arrest the tribe of Judah and think that's punishment. That's not punishment to them. They go to jail, they get 3 meals, they get commissary. They don't care. They don't give a damn. It's not a punishment. All right? Like, there's literally no way you can punish the tribe of Judah. They had the tribe of Judah in slavery. They made the best out of it. It did not affect them mentally. They didn't care. You can't. There's nothing you can do. You can't do anything at all to make the tribe of Judah go, I'm depressed. I can't do this. You can't. They come from the strongest tribe. And those are the Negroes that are shooting each other in the city. And most of the black people that live in the inner city are from the tribe of Judah, and that's just what it is. Everybody else will fall apart. Somebody lose their job, they shoot themselves in the head. Kill their whole family. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Someone from the tribe of Judah losing their... Come on, stop it. You see the big difference. So, when the Europeans came off of the ship, they came, and then this is going to tie into Hollywood. I know you guys probably wondering, like, when am I going to get to the Hollywood situation? Right now, I'm going to get to it. When the Europeans came over to America and started, like, shooting everybody because they had guns, at first they came over and started colonizing, but it was like a friendly... It was like a friendly kind of thing. They came over, pretend like they were everybody's friends, and then slowly started to take over banks and set up their own territories. And then next thing you know, they shipped in a bunch of guns. And nobody else had guns. They never seen them before. So the guns was able to take out everybody and put them in their place. And so during that time period, the British Empire was down in Egypt, which is from Mexico all the way to Florida. And while the British Empire was down there, they discovered the practices of the Egyptians and the magic and black magic. So they took it upon themselves and they used that for war. But they took that back home. They took it to Great Britain. They took the practices and everything. And then so from that point on, that's when the Illuminati became the Illuminati, because they took that, they created they became the magicians. They started doing they became the Masons, because they practiced what they see. They got the rituals. They stole them from the Egyptians, and then they became the Masons, and then they became the practitioners. And they started teaching their people that, and they started putting it into bloodlines, so that they had whole witchcraft, warlock bloodlines for 300 and something odd years now. They've been having this kind of situation. So they take down governments with this witchcraft. You have to understand what kind of demonic forces they're operating with, demons. And plus they worship demonic fallen angels like Moloch and Baal. Yeah. And so the Vatican, which went to the north of America, and they took the practices. Now they were Satanists, and they took the practices of the Israelites, and they incorporated those practices into their own pagan religion, and then they call it Catholicism. That's why they have Jesus and the cross and all that, because they took the customs and the practices, the Bible, everything that the Israelites was doing. They took that and mixed it in with their practices, which was setting up the Christmas tree and putting ornaments on it and presents and different things like that. Also worshiping the sun god on Sunday and different things like that. They incorporated that. And then so now since they run the world, and they've always been running the world, they never stopped running the world, they're the leaders of it. And the way that I want to describe it, and people can get mad at what I'm about to say right now, but I'm about to say it anyway. You know how you have a mother and father inside of a household, but who really runs the household? Okay, so that's literally what the Vatican and the Illuminati do. They both run the world at the exact same time. But the head of it is the Vatican. The Vatican really runs the world. And they run it by secretly calling themselves people of God, because they took the practices of the Israelites because they was over there in the north to take the practices. So the Vatican sold the Israelites to the British Empire. The British Empire put them in slavery for however many amount of years y'all remember, and they put witchcraft on them. The Negroes had witchcraft on them the whole entire time period of slavery, because that's what the British Empire was practicing. So the people that was running the South from the British Empire, and then they have Freemasons because that's what they practice, that's what they stole, and so now people are born into that witchcraft bloodline. They created Hollywood. The British Empire created Hollywood. The British Empire created the fake state of Jews that's over there in the Middle East. The Middle East then created Hollywood. I'm sorry, the fake Jew state that's over there. The fake white Jews, the 1948. All of that stuff was fake and it was orchestrated. The lands were plowed and to make it look like it was the biblical land. But it's over here in the U.S. and Utah and the surrounding areas. All the real biblical areas over here in America. So they took the British Empire, created the fake state of Jews. The fake state of Jews created Hollywood. And then now you have celebrities, because all of this is witchcraft. All of this is Freemason, or all of this is demonic. All of this is black magic, dark magic. They use music, all of that. The devil's literally passing it down from this, that, and the third. And then Mystery Babylon that's in the Bible. Mystery Babylon is the fake state of Jews. That's Mystery Babylon, which is the daughter of the mother of all harlots. All right? Because Mystery Babylon is a mystery. It's like nobody knows. But back during the biblical time period, Babylon was Philadelphia, and everybody knew it. Daniel was shipped to Philadelphia, and he actually became a governor of did he become the governor? But he became somebody important that was inside of Pennsylvania or in Philadelphia. Yeah. That wasn't a mystery. Everybody knew what Babylon was. But the mystery is like, okay, I already told you guys that they share the... You ever have like a sibling that shares something? It could be a car. Let's just use a car for example. You and your sibling are sharing a car. So when one person has the car, they do whatever they want with it. When the other person has the car, they do whatever they want. So when you see a Republican in office, there's always going to be a war. That's something you're like, what in the world? Like, why would you do this? Why are we over there in that country? It's because the British Empire has an agenda, and they're going to use the Democrats to get that agenda across. And the Democrats now have control of the military at the particular time period to go and execute the plans for the Illuminati, which is ran by the British Empire. And the British Empire is protecting Israel because they created it. There's a lot of treaties going on where you have the Vatican has a treaty with the British Empire. So they pretty much share the United States military. They share it. But the Vatican really owns all of that. They just like, hey, listen, like you could use my military, but we really run this joint. So that's why it's a back and forth, and there's a power dynamic going on where there's two people fighting. They don't know how to agree with each other. They used to fight all the time, worse than this. This is where you get the Revolutionary War, where you have the Americans, aka the Roman Empire, battling the British Empire. I don't know why you guys don't have this understanding by now, and I have it in a lot of my videos, is that the Roman Empire had soldiers over here in America in the 1700s, and they didn't want to be called the Roman Empire so everybody can figure this out, because they knew later on somebody like me will be able to expose this. So they changed their names to Americans. And the British Empire were like, well, damn shit, we got to change our names too, because we're going to be exposed. So the soldiers that was from the British Empire, like Great Britain sent the soldiers over. And so they was like, damn, we need to change our names too. So what we going to change our names to? The Confederates, the liberals, the Democrats. And so the Roman Empire was like, well, we're the Republicans then, since y'all want to get all political and all that. We Republicans, and we're going to do it our way, and this is how it's going to be. So there's always been treaties, there's been breaking of treaties, there's been wars, there's been a civil war, revolutionary. Y'all already understand that, fighting back and forth on who's going to control these Negroes. It's all about the black people of America, who's going to control them, and they're fighting over it. So Hollywood, they are part of the British Empire. They have to kiss the ring over there. Yeah, they have to kiss the ring. They have to go over and kiss the ring of Prince Philip's. They have to kiss his ring. All of Hollywood, they all demonic. They all practice witchcraft, black magic, dark magic. They're against God. They're against Christ. That's why when I see somebody that calls himself Christian that still like listens to they have this great obsession over these demonic Hollywood people. I'm just like sick and tired of seeing people worshiping these Hollywood celebrities and gossiping about them, and not even realizing that these people are against your God. They're against Christ. And they know Christ is real, because why don't they pray against Allah? They do the rituals and magic against people of Christ. Their main target and focus is of the real God, because they have demonic entities living inside of them, controlling them. And yes, there's MK Ultra involved, there's robots involved, there's dark, black magic, demons, all kinds of stuff that flows through their bloodline. And when they die, they actually come back through their demonic bloodline. Yeah, people don't realize is that when Christ went down to the core of the earth, which was hell, he released all the spirits. So all the spirits now come back in the human body. So when you die, you don't go to hell. You just keep coming back into a human body through your bloodline. Now, during the time period of you coming back to your bloodline, which if you have a Freemasonic demonic bloodline, you will be cursed in that bloodline. But these people, curses could happen in all different directions. You might see them with $50 million in a movie deal, but yet they're under MK Ultra. They can't break free and find Christ because of it. A lot of people just don't have this understanding. And they think I'm lying, because they're like, well, Christ was talking about hell when he was on earth. Yes, he did talk about hell when he was on earth, because he hasn't went down there yet to free the souls. So people were getting sent to hell before Christ died on the cross. Anybody, I'm trying to let you guys know this, anybody who died before Christ took his last breath on earth were in hell. After Christ, nobody went to hell. Everybody came back through bodies. And the next step, because y'all don't understand this matrix, it's called time. This is time. We're living in time. When Christ died, that started the time. So at the end of time, when Christ returns, it's the death and return. If you do not have your life together following Christ, once saved, always saved. If you died this day in Christ and you came back every lifetime, you will receive Christ every lifetime. The devil wants to trick you to believe that it's just over. The thing is, and I'm trying to teach you guys, I'm not trying to have you, hey listen, regardless which way you do, follow Christ. If you think I'm right or wrong, follow Christ regardless, whatever you believe, however you believe what happens when you die. Because actually, the way that if you don't believe me, that's actually, in my opinion, a better way to live and think is that you only have one chance. Because it really is one chance, but you have to see where the one chance goes. if you die without Christ, you're going to come back in a new body, and you're not going to even want to give your life to Christ for the second time, for the third time. You're just going to keep coming back, keep doing stupid shit, keep dying, keep getting your head blown off, keep getting the car accidents, keep joining the military, following different religions, different systems, different beliefs, and then you're going to die, and it's going to be repeat, live, die, repeat, like the movie with Tom Cruise. But if you give your life to Christ, you'll be like, man, like, I understand this. Like, I've been here before. And then you're gonna, this is the reason why a lot of people, they're like, yo, I was just walking down the street one day and then poof, it hit me, and all of a sudden I started following Christ. Yeah, it's because you were supposed to. You see that, I think, well, I'll give this analogy, but I'm quite sure it's already in the Bible. Like, there's plants that grow, and you're looking at it like, man, like, there's no fruit on this plant. But then, like, you come back a couple days later and there's fruit there. That's because that's you. That's supposed to be, let's say, watermelons is supposed to grow out of that vine. But you don't see it yet. You're like, man, I don't know if I planted it wrong. Is it getting enough sunlight? That was me. It's like, just, you couldn't see nothing on me. Like, where's this guy going? Like, because he's all over the place. He's drinking, he's smoking, he's fornicating, he's fighting, he's in and out of trouble. So, like, I can't, what's this guy's purpose? Then all of a sudden, bam, I give my life to the Lord. That's the vine that doesn't have any fruit on it yet. But you're supposed to be saved. And that's why you're getting those thoughts, because in the previous lifetime, you have checked in with God and he saved your soul. So now when you're born inside this world of sin, the devil knows, like, oh, wow, we got a light being, because you're considered a light being if you gave your life to the Lord in the previous lifetime. You're considered that light being. You come into this earth, and a demonic person, because, people that are demonic, people that have demons, people who have not given their life to Christ, they have demons dwelling inside their flesh. So when they see a woman that's pregnant, and the woman that's pregnant walks past them, they look, and they see her belly, and they see light surrounding her belly. And they're like, oh, wow, we got to find out her name, find out her address, find out what hospital she's going to have the baby in. And we're going to have to try to poison that baby as soon as it comes out with, with shots and different things like that, to suppress it, to ruin his brain and ruin his health. And then we're going to monitor that child through the schooling system and all. We're going to monitor that child. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking, well, that's a lot of resources. Yeah, they'll spend billions of dollars just for that. They'll pay witches and warlocks lots of money to monitor children. Now, the thing is that it's not a lot. So that it's literally, I mean, it's sad to say, but it's not millions of people that are being born into this world with light. God only has a few people on his side. But those few people are worth, if you had real jewelry, it's worth a lot more than all that fake stuff that's over there. We all know this. A quarter is worth way more than a bunch of pennies. And so you have to look at it from that angle. Is that when these light beings come into play, they were born into light because, I know they were born into sin because the world sinned, but they were born with light on them because of previous lifetime they gave their life to Christ. So their soul is saved. Okay? And another thing, we're all written in the book of life. Every last person, we're written in the book of life. Because the Bible says is that your name will be blotted out of the book of life. So that means your name was already there to blot out. So we're all written, but at the end, your name's going to be blotted out, erased. If you're not saved, Christ comes back, you see him crack the clouds in that spaceship, come down on that white horse, bam, time is done. It's over. As soon as that door opens, time is up. If you haven't given your life to the Lord now, you better do it now. You better repent. Doesn't matter if you think, listen, I'm tougher than all you bastards, and I gave my life to the Lord. Stop trying to claim that you're too hard to give your life to the Lord. Stop it. It's not about trying to keep up with everybody around you. Like, you still want to go to the club and dance. You're going to dance your way all the way into the lake of fire. Go ahead and do that. Save your soul now while you can. Because I know damn well in a previous lifetime I was saved and walking around probably saying the same thing I'm saying now. So that's what it is. And the Lord will protect you. That's the thing. It's like, well, you can go, because I've been protected so many different times. Like, I've been in dangerous situations, and I'm like, wow, that was definitely the Lord who protected me. But why is he protecting me? I'm not even serving him at this particular moment. So why would I be able to survive that? It's because when you're a light being, the Lord puts a very spiritual protection over you. So like if you're walking past a tree and that tree is about to fall on you, he'll just make you scratch your butt. I'm not trying to be funny, but he'll make you stop and scratch your butt, and then the tree will fall right in front of you, and you'll be like, whoa, if I didn't scratch my butt, I would have walked right into this tree. But it started itching. So like, the Lord will give you a sign to let you know that he protected you at that particular moment. And you guys have to understand this. Look at the signs. Have a relationship with God. Why are you so quick to text your bum friend who's not worth anything? You're so quick to text your friend to talk to somebody that, for 2 hours on the phone, but you won't sit there and have a 5-minute prayer with God. So hopefully you guys learned something from this particular video, because it's getting real out here. And the lake of fire was designed for the fallen angels to go inside of, not you. But the Lord says, well, like, if you don't want to serve me, you're going to be in there too, because I don't need no fake people around me. I mean, do you want fake people around you? No, you don't. You want them away. But you want the real people around. So the real people are the ones that chose God, that chose the Son, that believed, that fasted, that prayed, that cared, that, no matter how hard that life gets or anything like that, they still focused on the Lord. They don't care about anything else but the Lord. That's just what it is. But that's the end of this video. Y'all guys have a blessed one.